So how do you do capacity planning? That to me was probably one of the hardest things to do. Just trying to figure out how much time does this client actually take? Because no matter how much I studied it and recorded it, tracked their hours for a year, it just seemed like it was ever changing. And when you do small businesses, you do the books for small businesses. Small businesses grow, they go in cycles. They might have busy seasons and slower seasons. I know restaurants do that, and retail stores are much busier around Christmas, not so much January and February. That gives you a little break so that you can do their taxes. So look at the seasonality of some of your clients and that can help you with capacity planning. Do you have clients that you can just sort of, do the bare minimum in January and February so that when the tax season comes around, they're ready and you're ready to focus on other clients as well? So capacity planning is interesting. And what I did in my firm after, I probably did everything the wrong way at first, but just tried to figure out how many hours does the employee want to work. And I had a lot of part-time employees. I had some contractors, employees working full-time, and some employees with benefits, some just working part-time. And I just thought, whatever you want to work, because I wanted people to be happy and stay there. I did not insist that people work full-time. It's very hard in bookkeeping to say, here's 40 hours, don't work any more or any less every all 52 weeks of the year. It's very hard. So it's easier if you have part-time people or people that are flexible, and that's the way the world is right now. People work remote, they want flexibility, and so having contractors is kind of an easy way to go too. So at tax season, if they do need to work a little more or want to work a little more, you don't fall into that overtime if they are contractors. So again, what I did was I had a little spreadsheet, and I would have everybody's designated hours. I would have somebody that wanted to work 20, somebody that wanted to work 25 or 40. And then I would everybody clocked into T-sheets, because that was really the only way I could do that. At this time, everyone was hourly. I did have eventually salaried, more senior level salaried bookkeepers later on. But in the beginning, hourly workers, and they would just log into T-sheets. It was great. And I could see how much time they spent on different clients. And that really helped me. I liked being able to track how much time employees spend on the different clients. It's not to say, why did you spend 10 hours on this client? We only booked for 8 or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It's like, are the hours that I have allocated in my wisdom when I went and signed the contract, is that now still true? What is going on? Is the client getting, are there some things coming in that are maybe a little bit out of scope, or are we just struggling a little bit? Now, I could give the same client to 2 different employees. One might do it in 12 hours a month, and the other might do it in 6.5. And that's why you need to move to value-based pricing, because I had some employees that were so fast, I'd always be like, slow down. If they would say it took them 6, I would definitely charge the client a little bit more, because anybody else, including myself, would probably have taken a little bit longer to do that. So the value pricing really helps. But for those, I have employees that maybe, I don't want to say work slower, it took them a little bit longer, and quite frankly, they might have been a lot more thorough and were just working at a pace that was very steady. I liked that because it was very predictable, and I knew that their books would be good. They would be thorough and be good. So if somebody takes a little bit longer than another employee, it's not a good idea to get upset with them or say, you need to work faster. Yeah, that's a fast track to having them leave. So what I liked about this, though, was I had employees from all walks of life who had all different types of background and experience, and every one of them was different and unique. And when I talked to them, meet with them every week, how's it going? What do you like? And I could kind of find out what type of clients they liked. Do they like to talk with clients? Are they a little more shy or reserved? What type of client relates to them and that they relate to? And you guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you give a client to an employee and just for whatever reason, they don't mix. It's just like oil and water, and you can't really figure it out, and it just doesn't mix. And I've had that. I've just had clients I love and clients that I'm like, oh, I got to give this client away. And your employees are the same way. It's fine to talk with them and say, yeah, should we pass this on to someone else who has a lot more experience with dealing with, a rough construction guy with maybe, bad language or something, and maybe this isn't the right person to give it to. So think about capacity. Capacity is interesting. It's going to always change. It's going to fluctuate all the time because your clients' needs are going to change all the time, and your employees' needs might change too. They might say, hey, in the summer, I want to work a lot less. I want to be with my kids. And then they're just all in January, February, March. They're like, no, I want 40 hours. I want to work and get money and get paid. And I'm like, great, because that's when I need you. So we talk about that in our meetings. And I constantly ask them every employment review, every chance I get, are you happy with your hours? Do you want more or less? And they're happy to come to me and say, hey, I have capacity. I'm not doing anything this month. It's, October. If you want to send some training my way, that will be great. So think about capacity and how you use capacity and how you keep track of it. It's not easy, but you can do it, but you have to stay on top of it. I'd love to hear your comments below. If you like this video, check out our podcast, The Better Bookkeeper Show, now available on Spotify or wherever you find your podcast.